Hello, welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Francis 18. Thanks for being with us. First, the headlines. 29-year-old APC candidate wins Imo House of Representative election. Nigerian airport workers goes on strike. Traveler stranded. Adamawa INEC commissioner mistaken for wreck, beaten, stripped naked and barely escapes death. Criminals attack NDLEA Operatives, freed arrested suspects. Welcome back and thanks for being with us. Now, the news in details. A 29-year-old Akarachi Amadi of the All Progressive Congress APC has won the NDLEA Federal Constituency supplementary election held on Saturday in Imo State. The returning officer, Professor Boniface Okoro, while affirming the results of the election on Monday, Amadi polled 21,372 votes to emerge the winner ahead of other candidates. The Labour Party LP candidate, Mr. Uche Obuagu, had 18,296 votes, while the incumbent and candidate of All Progressive Grand Alliance ABGA, Mr. Henry Nwawuba, garnered 7,202 votes. According to him, the People's Democratic Party PDP candidate, Mr. Usman Kanacho, polled 6,681 votes, while Mr. Chinonso Oba of the African Democratic Congress ASC had 4,100 votes. Okoro added that Mr. Gustam Chukwunukan of the Social Democratic Party SDP got 246 votes. In his reaction, Amadi praised the voters and party faithfuls for the confidence inclined in him. He assured the constituents that he will not disappoint the mandate given to him to represent them. However, the candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Uche Obuagu, described the supplementary poll as an anomaly and total neglect of the electoral guidelines as stipulated by the law, explaining that he will explore all avenues and options provided by the Constitution to recover the NDLEA Federal Constituency mandate. He also praised the determination of his supporters before and during the election. 2,000 travelers were stranded in Nigeria on Monday as airport union workers began a 2-day strike demanding better work conditions. The strike cancelled flights as employees from across 7 unions in Nigeria's aviation industry blocked access to the country's largest airports in Lagos and the capital Abuja. Strikes are common in Nigeria's aviation sector. Workers say they have poor conditions and airlines are struggling with rising costs and fuel deficiencies. This is the second time the union organized strike this year, and it came after failed attempts by regulators and policymakers to pacify workers. Monday's strike came on the heels of the government's refusal to release recently reviewed aviation working conditions and adjust pay to match Nigeria's new minimum wage of $65 per month. According to a strike notice issued on the weekend, Hadi Sirika, Nigeria's aviation minister, did not immediately respond to requests for comments. So far, the delays show no sign of abating. In Abuja, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria recommended passengers make contingency plans in order to avoid missing flights and appointments. The 7 labor associations said the strike could be prolonged if authorities do not act on their demands to improve conditions and shelve plans to demolish some of their offices in Lagos. Should the warning strike fail to achieve the desired results, an indefinite strike shall ensue, the union said, in the notice signed by each of them issued over the weekend. The Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, has implored aviation workers to end their ongoing strike. Sirika's appeal is contained in a statement published in Abuja by Mr. Odutayo Oluseyi, the head of press and public affairs in the ministry. According to Sirika, the union should call off the strike and join hands with the ministry to make Nigeria's aviation industry a hub in Africa. He said the ministry had amplified efforts to meet the demands of the workers and expressed displeasure at the ongoing warning strike. According to him, the strike is unnecessary as it will only increase adversity to citizens, affect flight schedules, lead to economic losses, and negatively impact the country's global rating. The minister stated that the grievances prompting the strike by the unions ought to not have led to the strikes. The minister stated that the grievances prompting the strike by the unions ought not to have led to the strike. It should be noted that the planned demolition of certain buildings choking the runway is in the public's interest and an administrative issue that can be sorted in-house. He added that the unions should have met with the management of agencies for alternative accommodation to all affected offices before going ahead with the strike. It should be noted that the planned demolition of certain buildings choking the runway is in the public interest and an administrative issue that can be sorted in-house. He added that the union should have met with the management of agencies for alternative accommodation to all affected offices before going ahead with the strike. On the concession of airports, the unions are aware of global practices. Concession is the way to go and improve infrastructure and make the nation's airports economically viable without loss of jobs. On the conditions of service in some of the agencies, the minister said the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission is already carrying out assessments and will soon conclude. The union should also note, if they are not already aware, that the consequential adjustment of the minimum wage has been finalized and is about to be paid anytime soon. The management of the Ministry of Aviation is open to continuous engagement with the unions to improve their welfare. He added that this can only be done in an atmosphere of peace and mutual respect. According to him, while appealing to the unions to sheath their sword, the management will view seriously any behavior by any union that is likely to lead to the breakdown of law and order at the airports. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has condemned in strong terms the stripping of its National Commissioner naked aftermath of the illegal declaration of a winner in Adamawa State's supplementary governorship elections by the resident electoral commissioner REC on Sunday. A viral video shows that INEC National Commissioner, name withheld, was stripped by unknown persons in Adamawa State. The victim was evidently mistaken for REC Ari Hudu. Meanwhile, reacting to the sad development, the National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee of INEC, Barrister Festus Okoye, stated that the Commission will not allow that to stand. According to him, the National Commissioner cannot be treated as a common criminal. A former Vice-Chancellor of Usman Danfodio University stripped naked and dragged in the viral video. The attackers communicated in the Hausa language and rarely spoke English. The victim was asked to tell the truth to save his life. We'll now be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for being with us. It was learned that 3 officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA Operatives) who camouflaged as civilians were on an operation in the area of Idunza Lane at Mile 3 axis of Diobu in Port Harcourt to capture and convey an arrested suspect, Izu Isiofio, for illicit drug activities on Friday. A witness, who does not want to be mentioned in print over fear of harassment, stated that the NDLEA operatives had arrested the suspected drug dealer in the area popularly known as 50 and were pulling him to a waiting patrol van stationed at the nearby street along Ikwere Road, Ihioma Street in Mile 3, Diobu, when some suspected cultists pounced in on the officials. The eyewitness said minutes later, over 100 criminals bearing bottles and other dangerous weapons started pelting stones and bottles at the NDLEA team, some of whom sustained some injuries. The NDLEA men fired shots into the air, but the cowboys boys were still stoning and they eventually aided the escape of their ally 50 before the NDLEA patrol van arrived on the scene. There was serious traffic on the Ikwere Road axis as a result of the confrontation. Many individuals who had businesses there and even people passing by on the street ran away to avoid shooting. Punch correspondents also reported that the criminals went on a rampage robbing passers-by. On sighting, police patrol vans fled the scene with their rescued colleague 50, who was in handcuffs. Meanwhile, the NDLEA has confirmed the attack on its personnel, saying the suspect 50 was arrested with large quantities of cannabis sativa. The NDLEA spokesman, River State Command, Emmanuel Obumbada, in a statement said, the State Commander, Ahmed Mahmouda, has tasked operatives of the command to deploy all necessary arsenals to ensure that they rearrest the fugitive and his gang members and also be brought to justice. This was made available to newsmen in Port Harcourt, where he said the hoodlums also transported away the drugs seized alongside the suspects. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration Control (NAFDAC) has granted registration approval for the R21 malaria vaccine recombinant adjuvanted, manufactured by Serum Institute of India Limited. The agency said the action was part of its mandate as stipulated by its enabling law, NAFDAC Act Cap N1 LFN 2004. NAFDAC Director General Professor Mochishola Adeyeye, who affirmed the approval at the news conference in Abuja on Monday, noted that malaria is one of the most crucial public health concerns in the world. She explained that the R21 malaria vaccine is an adjuvanted protein vaccine presented as a sterile solution. Other than that, a dose which is 0.5 ml is composed of R21 malaria antigen 5 mercury and matrix M1 15 mercury as an adjuvant filled in a vial as a ready-to-use liquid formulation for intramuscular injection. The vaccine, she further explained that it's for the prevention of clinical malaria in children from 5 months to 36 months of age. Adeyeye said she also reviewed using the letter, which involves a full review of product dossier. Speaking on the dossier review, NAFDAC received the dossier of the R21 malaria manufactured by Serum Institute of India (BVT Limited) SSPL and was subjected to independent review at 2 levels. As a matured regulatory agency, it is expected as part of global benchmarking that an external advisory committee is in place to advise upon invitation on certain functions of the agency. As a new biological molecule that is being given consideration for full registration, the independent review by an external body becomes imperative as a means to further safeguard public health. The Independent National Electoral Commissioner (INEC) has suspended the resident Electoral Commissioner for Adamawa State, Hidu Yunusa Ari, from office indefinitely. In a letter dated April 17 by the Secretary to the Commission, Rose Oriran Anthony, INEC asks the REC to stay away from the Commission's office in Yola till further notice. The administrative secretary of the commission in the state is to take charge of the affairs of the office with immediate effect. The two-paragraph letter titled Commission's Directive to Stay Away from INEC Adamawa State reads, I hereby convey the Commission's decision that you, Barrister Hidu Yunusa Ari, Resident Electoral Commissioner, Adamawa State, should stay away from the Commission's office in Adamawa State immediately until further notice. We'll now be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from the break and thanks for staying with us. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC), cholera infected 1,336 persons and killed 79 persons between January and March. Also, according to his weekly epidemiological report, the NCDC revealed that the infection and deaths were reported from 12 states and 43 local government areas (LGAs) across the country. According to the report, Cross River State has the highest number of cholera infection with 709 cases. Others are Ebonyi, 183 cases, Zamfara, 181 cases, Bayelsa, 98 cases, Abia, 72 cases, Niger, 38 cases, Katsina, 36 cases, Ondo, 10 cases, Kano, 3 cases, Sokoto, 3 cases, Bauchi, 2 cases, and Osun, 1 case. 6 states have recorded deaths from cholera, and the states are Cross River 16, Ebonyi 8, Zamfara 4, Bayelsa 1, Abia 6, and Niger 2. The NCDC registered 12 states that have reportedly suspected. These are Abia, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Cross River, Ebonyi, Kano, Katsina, Niger, Ondo, Osun, Sokoto, and Zamfara. In the reporting month, 5 states reported 98 suspected cases, Bayelsa 21, Cross River 61, Ebonyi 2, Katsina 1, and Zamfara 13. In the reporting week, Bayelsa 1 and Zamfara 2, no rapid diagnostic test (RDT) was conducted, and also no stool culture test was conducted of the cases reported. There was no death with weekly case fatality ratio (CRF) of 0%. The National Multi-Sectoral Cholera Technical Working Group (TWG) continues to monitor response across states. As of April 2, 2023, a total of 1,336 suspected cases, including 79 death case fatality ratio (CFR) of 5.9%, have been reported from 12 states of the suspected cases since the beginning of the year. Age groups between 15 to 24 and greater than 45 years are the most affected age groups for males and females. As of April 2, 2023, a total of 1,336 suspected cases, including 79 death case fatality ratio (CFR) of 5.9%, have been reported from 12 states of the suspected cases since the beginning of the year. Age groups between 15 to 24 and greater than 45 years are the most affected age groups for males and females. Respectively, all of suspected cases, 53% are males and 49% are females. 6 states: Cross River, 647 cases, Ebonyi, 97 cases, Abia, 72 cases, Niger, 38 cases, and Zamfara, 28 cases amount for 96% of all accumulative cases. 15 LGAs across 9 states, Ebonyi 4, Cross River 3, Ondo 2, Bayelsa 1, Abia 1, Katsina 1, Sokoto 1, Niger 1, and Zamfara 1 reported more than 5 cases each this year. Gunmen have abducted 8 people at Atamka in Owukpa, Ogbadibo local government area of Benue. According to residents, the incident happened between Saturday and Sunday when the gunmen laid ambush on people returning from church along Atamka Obudu Road, linking Okoluafo in Enugu. The locals said a security man was kidnapped on Saturday, adding that the other 7 people were abducted on Sunday while returning from church. A few of the victims were identified as Onichi Ono, John Ame, and Agnes Iwuta. Former chairman of the local government, Prince Samuel Onu, who rectified the kidnap to the Tribune's correspondent on Monday, stated that there were 2 incidents of absconding in the area. The first incident was on Saturday when a security guard was abducted at Atamka. On Sunday, some individuals who were on Okada and returning from church were ambushed at the same place and taken away by the suspected kidnappers. The people actually entrapped 8 people, but they discovered that one of their victims is physically challenged and cannot walk, so they let him go. In total, 7 people were abducted on Sunday. The former chairman stated that security men were on the trail of the suspected kidnappers and making frantic efforts to salvage the victims. The police public relations officer in the state, Catherine Anene, expressed that she was yet to get the report. The People's Democratic Party PDP in Lagos has denied suspending the state chairman, Honorable Philip Ivoji, and thereby pass a vote of confidence on him. This is coming against a report in the media that the Lagos state chairman of the PDP and the deputy state chairman, Mr. Tai Benedict, have been suspended by the ward executive of the party in Ward E of Badagry local government area over alleged gross violation of party's constitution. In a letter autographed by the executive of Ward E, PDP Keta West of Badagry and obtained by Tribune, the party said they were surprised and shocked to read in the media the purported letter of suspension of their able state chairman, Honorable Philip O. Ivoji, alleged to have been signed by them. They noted that their signatures on the purported letter of suspension were forged and did not emanate from them. They hereby unequivocally deny and refute the signing of any letter of suspension and state categorically in a letter that the purported letter of suspension does not emanate from them. They deny and disprove it in totality to show that they are at peace with their state chairman and unanimously pass a vote of confidence on him. And that's all on the news on Oweleketv News today. You can follow us on our social media handles as displayed on your screen for inquiries and advert placement. But before we close the day, here is a recap on the major headlines. 29-year-old APC candidate wins Imo House of Representative election. Nigerian airport workers goes on strike, travelers stranded. Adamawa, INEC commissioner mistaken for wreck, beaten, stripped naked, and barely escapes death. Criminals attack NDLEA operatives, freed arrested suspects. I am Francis 18, till I come your way again with another informative news. Until then, stay safe and be happy. Bye-bye.